Sihat tapi busy lah macam biasa.
Biasa.
Tak pernah tak busy kan.
Betul lah.
Sekarang siapa dekan ya? School of Education dulu Prof Fauzia.
Sekarang apa? Dr. Yahya Dong.
Oh, okey.
Profesor Madya Dr. Yahya Dong.
Tahu saya kenal. Apa? Baik juga lah dengan dia. Gitu. Sebab tapi dah lama tak contact kan.
Faham? Betul lah. Macam-macam. Tambah-tambah apa? Online kan?
Yelah.
Work from home.
Dulu selalu juga pergi UAM, sekarang memang tak ke mana lah. Saya selalu biasa pergi ke ni you all punya Center for Teaching and Learning. Sebab sama kan macam CDAE kan.
CDAE, betul.
Caknya dia orang ni lambat sikit selalunya masuk naknya hari Jumaat ni.
Faham.
Cik hari ni tak kerja je, lupa.
Betul. Kedah cuti lah Kedah.
Kan. Kami selalu kalau USM Kupang Kurai, dia orang selalu minta janganlah buat hari webinar hari Jumaat sebabnya nak pergi pasar lah, nak itulah ini, dia orang cuti kan. Kita kat Penang ni kerja, so kami cakap kami depends on the speaker lah. Kalau speaker minta hari Jumaat, kita buat jugalah hari Jumaat kan. Kita try lah to cater, yelah, availability of the speaker lah kan.
The YouTube recording.
Okay, let me have a look. Zana, kita nak start ke? Pukul 9 dah. Pukul 10 dah.
Boleh.
Okay, alright. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning everybody. Alhamdulillah. Today we are going to have another webinar session. My name is Azidah Abuzidin from the Center for Development of Academic Excellence, CDAE USM. Alright, we would like to welcome Dr. Norliana Buhari from School of Education, University Utara Malaysia. Okay, our jiran, our neighbor di utara ni ya. Alright, okay, so thank you Dr. Norliana for being here with us this morning. Okay, we really appreciate your time and effort to be here with us. Alright, so Dr. Norliana will share with us the title of Technology Enhanced Assessment with ClassMarker. I think this is a new topic for us lah. Okay, so this is a good chance for us to learn about ClassMarker and especially about assessment. Okay, this is quite an interesting topic. Alright, so let me just first introduce Dr. Norliana Buhari. Okay, Dr. Norliana Buhari is a lecturer in School of Education at University Utara Malaysia. So she received her PhD in Educational Research, Measurement and Evaluation from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, USA. Okay, and her Master in Research, Measurement and Evaluation from the University of Miami. So an expert there, Dr. Norliana, in research, measurement and evaluation. Alright, so we are lucky to have you here this morning. Alright, so her research focuses on issues of fairness in testing, technology integration in assessment, language testing, and assessment. Okay, assessment design, validation and psychometrics estimation. All right. So she involved in a semester-long professional engagement at the internationally renowned testing company CTB McGraw-Hill Education in Monterey, California in summer 2015. All right, she has been providing training on online testing, alternative assessment, item development and analysis, as well as certification, licensure testing. So I think, we are really lucky to have Dr. Liana here this morning, and I would like you all to take advantage of her being here this morning. Ask as many questions as you have, because I think that we need to really look at assessment in our teaching and learning, and also alternative assessment. Yeah. All right. So I think that I'm not going to tell more. You can ask question later on. Okay, before we start with Dr. Noliana. All right, please, if you have question, please type your question in the chat box. Begin your question with the letter Q. All right. Okay, to entitle for you to have CPD points, please attend the webinar fully via WebEx. All right. Scan your attendance using Passport USM mobile apps. All right. And then please complete the e-survey from my CPD site. All right. So the link will be given nearly to the end of the session. So for now, I think Dr. Noliana, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azida. Thank you. I'm very humble, and thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm going to share
You
my
are most
screen.
welcome.
Assalamualaikum. Good morning, respected participants. I'm very happy, to be here today, and I appreciate you take your time to join this session. I would like to welcome you to my talk. It's the title that I give to CDAE is Technology Enhanced Assessment with ClassMarker, and I put here and more a little bit because sometimes the discussion could be beyond ClassMarker. So yeah, Dr. Azida has introduced me. Thank you very much for that kind introduction. And again, this is my background, just echoed whatever Dr. Azida mentioned. And I would like to stress on the internship or professional engagement at the CTB McGraw-Hill in Monterey, CTB McGraw-Hill Education in Monterey. So to bring where where I came from is actually in the States, in the United States, testing is like an industry. So it's like we have factories and we have test vendors. So there's an operational testing, industry. It's not what do you call it? Centralized. It's not centralized. What do you call it? Being controlled by one federal or something like Lembaga Perpisahan. No, it's more like usually state-based. Even in certain county or district, we have testing companies. So CTB McGraw-Hill Education was, but now it's been changed. The name is changed to Data Recognition Corporation. But when I was there, it was CTB. So it got bought out by a competitor. You may say that. So the testing there is like industry, and it's not standardized throughout the country. But we have companies and standards, legislate and make sure that things are going smoothly. So there, I work closely with K-12. It was like an interim assessment. K-12 like is a kindergarten through grade 12 testing, and work closely with what we call innovative item formats or technology enhanced. Okay, so that's a little bit of background about my background and how things are actually in the States. So today the plans, like the outline is like, okay, there's a class marker, and then I mentioned about in the, if you can see the brochure, for example, there's intermediate constraint and talk about item types. So today I'm excited to let you test another quiz maker platform, one of the quiz maker platforms available. And I think based on what I've been searching, especially when the MCO started and we start with the online remote learning in Malaysia, I think this is one of the, it's user friendly and it has all the testing features that we would like to see in a professional or more formal test. Okay, or you can even use it for your standardized quiz. Okay, and then later after you experience, I believe you, when you experience, you feel, you have the feeling of it, it make more sense to you. Then later we talk about what actually, what do you call it, drive the measurement within a certain testing platforms, for example. So we talk about the intermediate constraints. We're back to the idea, the theory, or the concept. Okay, and I will show you a couple of computer-based item configurations and how to ensure some test security. We've been talking about test security a lot here lately. Okay, then I'm going to end up with some conclusion or course of actions that you may consider, for your own practice. I also prepare resources, but I'll share it with you later on the WebEx chat and also YouTube. I noticed this is on YouTube. Very honored. I'll show you. I'll share all the resources on Padlet and with you, so you have all the slides, all the links that I'm using, and all the materials related to ClassMarker and some more. Okay, I add and more. That's where the title comes in. Okay, so are you ready? There you go. I would like you to, take a test on ClassMarker here. Let me pause sharing, and I'm going to share the link with you on WebEx. Okay. But before that, just a head count, because ClassMarker is based on credit. At least for me, the one that I'm using is what you call the paid one, the paid version. So here, this is the, you can see the link. Okay, I'm gonna go also to YouTube. I think some are joining us via YouTube. So I'll share you with the link. Okay. Oh, okay, on YouTube it looks there's no space, so I have to, never mind. It's just it doesn't look promising. Let me just one more time. Okay, that's the link, and that's the password. Okay. So I'm going back to my screen to give more instruction on this. Okay. So here, okay, I think we have 32 on WebEx and we have a few on YouTube. So I'm good with my credit. So that's why I said head count. I have to make sure first, because or else I have to, what you call it, top up, add some more credit. Okay, now you have the link. I would like you to go to the link, ClassMarker, the one that I shared. Okay, and you will do the following. They're all questions. Okay, questions that I design, and the purpose, don't tell me what subject it is. It's all over everything that I can think of. I just want you to experience the features. Okay, go through all the questions, and I would like you to pay specific attention to the item features, the stimuli that I use. Stimulus, maybe there are more than one stimuli. So perceived difficulty, how difficult it is, and you will get your scores, and there's a feedback for some questions. There are feedback, and you can check also your register email after answering the question if you want to see how things are with the reporting. And you can download your certificate. Yay, that's the best part, certificate. I know CDA will give you point for attending, especially on WebEx, but with me, you also get your certificate. Okay. And yeah, time limit 30 minutes, we'll try. That's maximum. This is not like in a high stakes or whatsoever, just for you to experience. Okay. We'll try to, regroup after the 30 minutes. And I'll be here, definitely I'll be here with you. So once you click that, it'll prompt you your name and your email, because I set the setting to be, you can come back later and save. And the link will be available until midnight, okay, today. That's why you can save and, continue later, okay, if you couldn't finish it within 30 minutes. Yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you have any question. I'll stay tuned to chat or on YouTube. Yeah. And again, the password, you have to type all caps, kesana kesini, CDAE. That's what I give you also in the chat box. Oh, okay. It's not available. Okay, let me see. Not available. Okay, thank you very much. Let me check real quick. I just checked earlier. It was it's 3rd September. This is the test. Okay, my bad. I said it until last night, not tonight. Okay, and now you can try again. I am truly sorry for the inconvenience. But now you're good to go. Okay, sure, I can, of course. That is the link. And the password is there you go. What about on YouTube? Okay, link not valid on YouTube. I understand, because yeah, now it's valid. Sorry about that. Dr. Marzia Muhammad. Yeah, thank you, CDAE admin. Share with me the link. Try again, because I made a mistake, a rookie mistake. The date, I make it 12 midnight. So 3rd September. So like about 10 hours ago. But now it works. Please try. Okay, so that's the test that I just assigned. And you are looking at my ClassMarker dashboard. Okay, and I can see here at least Yeah, because I tried last night. So my result is there already. And I see about seven. It has started, you know. So you can see real-time progress.
Liana,
Yeah. Yes.
kat YouTube ada yang cakap link not valid.
Yeah. I mean now it is valid. So okay. Let me just go to YouTube and respond to them too. Earlier because of the date. It's still not valid? Okay. Okay, because there's a go-to there. If you notice there's a go-to, you don't copy that go-to. Okay? You copy only that because I see here a couple of people already joined, means it's working. So I'll share you without the go-to. There's a go-to there. Thank you, Amiza. Amiza is my graduate student. Okay, and try one more time now. Copy it and then paste it on your browser. I'm sorry about that, Dr. Marzia. Now? Oh, it's still not valid. Okay. Why is that? And we do on YouTube is, I'm not sure why it's not picking up. Again, still. Close the earlier one, if possible. Then you can copy it on, put it on your phone if you want. You can try with your phone. I'm doing it together using the link. And I get to that class marker. So I'll show you, I'm on YouTube right now. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with Dr. Jawati's problem. Anybody else on YouTube that you've tried? Just exactly the link that I shared, copy that, then put on your browser. I'll do it together with you, okay? So I'll share my screen here. So now you are looking, looking at YouTube. I tap the link on your site, it works, okay. Thank you. Now it's working, okay, I'm glad. Okay, and don't forget the password. First you have to put your password, the one that you can go back, and because it's go back and save later, you can go back and save later. Make sure you put the password. Then later the second prompt will be, the real password. So that's the password here. So the password for the one that I assigned is the Kesana Kesini CDAE. Okay, it looks awkward with I'm looking at YouTube at the same time. So we'll try to stop, to regroup at 10:40, if possible. No, Dr. Phua, the password is, you put your password. First, there will be a login. Let me share this, how it's going to look like. Google Chrome. I'm going to share this, okay. Just a second. There you go. Okay, first you will see this. Are you looking at my screen? Right now, I'm on that test. Okay, so you'll see the CDAE. And here is actually your email and your own password. Okay, for example, I type my email. Okay. And then, okay, Okay, you finish that and then you just type. Okay, there's another one. Okay, I'll see. I want you. Okay, here, right? And 8. Okay, let's double check. And it will, you will come here. So this one, the password is kesana kesini CDAE. I'm doing it with you here. Oh, you cannot see because it's not showing there. Okay, so then you type in that box, or you can just copy paste the one that I share here on WebEx. You have to input that because I'm the one who's giving you. Say here, it's like, this is not the password you just registered. It is a password that you should have been given to you, that should have been given to you to gain access. Let me know, Dr. Paul. You are waiting for this password? Oh, okay. This is the password. I shared you earlier. Sorry about that. So you can cut and paste it there. I believe you managed to continue now. Okay, great. Okay, I can see more people are joining on ClassMarker. My screen. Wow, plenty now. Okay. Now 21. 21, of course, excluding me. I already answered last night, just to be on the safe side. So I'm gonna go to YouTube real quick, see if so far so good. In the meantime, I'm gonna share my Padlet for resources. on WebEx and on YouTube while you're doing it. Okay. So, okay, so it's now 10:30. I'll try to give you 10 more minutes so that we can regroup. It's okay. The marks here won't mean anything. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna share your marks if you're not comfortable. But first, just keep in mind this is to show you the features. You can just tembak, or you can just try to answer just to get over with it. For those who just join us on YouTube, I think more viewers now. If you like to try ClassMarker, and you may scroll up on the chat on YouTube and check the one that's CDAE a link. There's a ClassMarker link, and then the password is kesana kesini CDAE. Okay, 11 now watching or 10 now. Okay, so you may try use ClassMarker, and of course don't worry, you can continue and save and continue later. The link will be open up to midnight. Okay, thank you. CDAE, just pin that I call it link. Okay. Oh, 26 now are taking the test. 25 test takers, we call it, or examinees. Oh, okay. So, Saudara Zalmadi, yeah, Zalmadi Razali on YouTube. I think right now we are actually taking tests. The participants are taking tests on ClassMarker. I know, because earlier I mute. I forgot. Thank you so much, Dr. Jawati. Okay. So right now I already mute. So you can take, if you just join us, you can take the quiz on, what do you call it? ClassMarker. The link is on YouTube, the chat box. Okay, there's a password there. I think CDAE has pinned, the link. If possible, if I can ask somebody from CDAE to help with put the password also, the link, so that folks can still use it. Dr. Jawati, are you done? I see your name here. So nobody submitted yet. It will be great. I'll be happy to to regroup once I see somebody submitted the score. But don't worry, there's no score. There's no score. The score won't be reflected on your certificate. So don't try to to ace the test or something. It's just for you. The purpose for this, the one that you're doing right now, is to make sure to let you be familiar with the test features, with the features. Okay. Anybody would like to submit? Oh yeah, somebody we see. Okay, Cheng Yim Lim, Nurulisa. Okay, thank you. See, we have submitter. Okay, those who have submitted. In fact, we have a couple, like 3. Wow. Okay. So based on that, you can see average is still at about 58.1. In 2 minutes, I'm gonna, we'll talk about this. Those who haven't finished, you can just save and continue later and go back to it, with your email and the password that you provided early on. Okay. We'll throw a bit the features, and then I'll share a bit some of the important documents or materials on Padlet. I also share Padlet. Possible I can put this later. I'll add the classroom ClassMarker link also on Padlet. You can see here, if I adjust by score, I can see, at least including me, 4 have submitted. Or more now. Okay, so don't worry, this is just for fun. Okay. And please, final answer, finalize it if you may. And now I hope you're looking on my Padlet now. The link has been shared on WebEx and on YouTube. So here you can see this is for you and the materials. Stuck at question 7. No problem. No problem. It's understandable because it has a lot of media there, but it's still what do you call it? Less heavy compared to because it's independent, it's online. The only thing, because I add a couple of media, and most of the time for your test you might we might not have that much of media. I just want to show different ways of giving writing items on ClassMarker. We call it technology enhanced item. Okay, thank you, Dr. Fo. Okay, so this is a Padlet, and that's my slide and stuff. And here, if you notice, that's in the third shelf, there's the ClassMarker Materials, and this is also like exactly that. This is only on ClassMarker, you know, YouTube, and how similar training, and this is a some well, my notes on ClassMarker. Okay, I have also shared a CSV file. Okay, if you're using, some people, instead of, you want to include the tests, test per test, so you can just also include per bulk. Okay, here I have per bulk, and I put how you can, the template that you can use, and you can just modify it. Okay. I share it first with you. Okay, so this is it when we want to include per, what do you call it, the template, like a lot of items at the same time. The only thing is just you cannot add stimuli. So later when you have everything on ClassMarker, after you add all of them, then you can start, we call it adjusting, if you see necessary. So this is the example. You can see what type of question that you want to ask. This is all in .csv file. So I think it's more easier compared to some class quiz maker. They ask for you to have like kind of programming or coding on text. So here is, I think, doable for most. Okay, or if you want, you can just go to test, and you can also have a new test, or go to your question bank, and you can add new question, and you can import the spreadsheet. Okay, so are you looking on my ClassMarker? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm on ClassMarker. So okay, here, this is the dashboard, just to share a bit. And you can see here, I have 19 tests, 176 questions, of course, some of them being added, using the CSV file. And you can also add categories if you want to make it easy for you to choose your files. I mean, the items that you want based on categories, based on topics, for example, or based on item formats, for example. And you have the files that you want to add. It could be, most of the time images and logos. And I have 2 certificates that I've been, playing around with, giving. I have 2 assistants. This is important feature of assistant, because we can share. We can have like 2 or more instructors, not more. I think 3 maximum. 3 teaching assistant they call it. So here we can use our instructors from different group teaching the same course. We can be on the same ClassMarker, and they can be an assistant, and you can just share the fee, because for the paid version, it's still affordable. For me, the one that I'm using right now is like 1 month, like $19, about 80 ringgit divided by 3. So it's still not as bad, and you have 400 students can take, as 1 credit for 1 student. Or you can, and you can stop your subscription anytime. Maybe next month you're not using it, so you stop subscribing. If you are assigning, then you can just use that, continue upgrading. They call it upgrade and stuff. Okay. Okay. So I believe. So what do you think? Anybody would like to share the experience on chat about, I don't know, your experience taking ClassMarker? Quiz on ClassMarker? Is this have you done this before with similar or different platform, for example? Okay, more taking. So I can choose the one already with score. Yeah, wow. A lot of good stuff. And you can, have the statistics by question. I like the fact that we can combine various, okay, the class leader said, various types of questions within one test. Yes, that's I think the powerful feature of it. Still, like Dr. Po said, maybe it depends on the system. So you might want to pilot with your students first. Let's see, what type of item that you might want to avoid. Interface looks clean and neat. How much is okay? The price is actually depends. Okay, we have a different pricing here. You can check the upgrade, and they have like professional plans. We can have free version that's graded, but with limited features, of course. Okay, and the one that I'm using is the professional one. Okay, 400 credits per month. Just now, that's why I asked for the headcount, because at that time I have only 300 credits. I need to see whether there's a need for me to, to upgrade to 1,000 per month. Still affordable for, if you are sharing with 3 instructors. And questions, yes, questions randomized. You can decide. Okay, you can decide. And there are more like this one if you are really want to based on credits. Sometimes you are conducting a training and stuff. Credit means okay, I'll show you. Great. Oh, my account. I can go to my account here. Okay, so now just now I have 300, so about I don't know 26 or 30, maybe more than 30, who started 298 credits left. Means one student, one credit. I mean, they use it's like once you click it, that's the one credit is gone. Okay. Does it make sense, Dr. Azida? Okay. Any question on YouTube? Please let me know if possible, CDE folks. How about the manual grading? Okay. Yeah, you have to do manual grading. For that, if you saw the quiz, the question that I asked about, it's like more like an essay, right? How do you apply this? That one, yeah, you have to grade separately because there's no automated for essay yet. Okay, for that you need a proper proctoring system. Okay, so I think if you want to mix, so it's still doable if you have those the one that not automatically scored. Yeah, you can still have those features, and you can grade later because you can also ask if you want to email those results to you, and you can go grade them accordingly. Okay, or you can download their the Excel file. You can the CSV file. Okay, and you can do it from there too. Okay, so this is so go to the results again. Okay, I can do it by questions. See which questions, Okay, for example, this one. You can say not many people are doing because this one I have to grade by myself. How can teachers use? Okay, and this one also I have to grade by myself because it's audio based. And this one we can see here. You can see the details for these questions. 50% got it correct. Yeah, got it 5. Again, we can see here the distractor. See A, B, C, D, who chooses 7 and stuff. Then if you are doing this formative, you can always tell me, okay, it starts when the kid and at the gate. Okay, when he reaches the gate. So this is by question. Okay. Oh yeah, this one. Wow, a lot of statisticians here. Easy, I guess. Okay. So, and I choose different questions for different, what do you call it, from different resources. If you notice, from SPM, that's our national exam, Malaysia, if you're international. And we have from certification, from the pilot test, and from the CPA, Certified Public Accountant, and also from any random blog, trivia, okay, and also my own collection, the one that I do for my class. So you can see different what call it different items from different resources and different style, okay, of doing it. Okay, so last thing I think I want to share is the results. How does it look like on Excel? Just now on ClassMarker itself. If you want to have a quick okay, so you can go actions, you can export. You have export options here. Okay, you can check result, you can export all results. And here we have based on the test score, or you want to see, how they select the answer, how the participants select the answer. You can just export it, and you want to see if points received is either one. So they just allow you to choose, but you can have multiple downloads there. Okay, you can export. Okay. Okay, and this one, you can see here, your name or your email. I'm not sure whether you want to share that. Okay, here, we can see in progress, okay, requires grading, means already done. Okay, and this is a certificate, and we have IP address, just in case to see, if they are doing, the same, what do you call it, from the same computer. So, oh, okay, this might, because maybe from the office, I guess. Okay, but we can still see there's a variation of IP address. Okay, and yeah, and this is based on the question, because a lot of not answered yet. If then you'll see a nice neat, and they even score for you, whether they can assign score. Okay, or you can ask based on point. If based on point, I think it looks like, okay, this is my class. And this one is based on the points. If you download based on points, take answer, they will score it for you, and you can do it for your item analysis. You can even use this data to see, okay, how things are, and you can just get that if you are interested only for the marks and you don't have any extra grading required, so you can just get this into your what do you call it, assessment component, the bigger file. Okay, so this is it. Okay, that's about ClassMarker. Okay, and today is beyond that. Like I said, it's beyond the ClassMarker itself, and it's about the items that we use. Okay, for that, I'm going to go back and share my screen, but particularly my slides. Okay, so thank you very much for your feedback earlier on ClassMarker. I hope you've enjoyed taking it. Okay, so all the items, whatever we have in ClassMarker or whatever platforms that you use, usually if we can categorize them into different umbrella or different groups, we are familiar with these three, or maybe some even make it like two categorization: objective items and subjective. Means what is the rater is about the scorer objectivity. Is there any one clear-cut answer in the whole world? Okay, so like multiple choice question or select response, there's another name for multiple choice. Okay, select response, fill in the blank with specific answer. If there's only one answer in the whole world, just with slight variation of spelling, like how you spell COVID-19 with the C capital with a hyphen and stuff. Yeah, but still there's specific answer and multiple correct responses. 2 out of 5, or there are 5 options, but you can select multiple, select all correct answers. Okay, and true false matching, those are objective. And another side of in the other group, we have subjective items where there's some subjectivity given when grading. So this is when we use a free response or constructed response format, open type or open-ended, supply. These are all the different names, just different terms, but they mean the same thing. Means you have to produce, or examinees need to produce. Okay, and if you want to, with the in Malaysia, I think, or if we want to have a different umbrella, we call it, it's subjective, but it's more performance. It's no longer like simple, what do you call it, word construction, okay? It's beyond, okay? And this is the two categorization, and under subjective item, there's also subjective and maybe more like performance or task-based. Now they have to apply, they really have to do it. It could be authentic or it could be in simulation, okay? So different categorization. So here, when I said quiz maker platforms, if they are making the categorization, I think it's good to see them in a taxonomy or in a table. Okay, they call here Scales and Gifford 2006. It's a study, and you have the article there on my Padlet. It's to map or to locate, to put this objective, subjective items on one taxonomy, in one possible constraint, okay, based on the constraint that each item has. And you can see here on the horizontal, we can have most constraint to the least constraint. What does it mean, most constraint? Here we can constrain, means students only fully selected it. When the answer is being fully selected, no construction, no need production. Students don't need to produce or construct, okay? All the way to fully constructed. And you can see they label it differently. It could be from, multiple choice, that's when you fully select, students fully select the best answer, and they start doing it all across the continuum. We can see they start doing something or produce something, okay, all the way to the portfolio or presentation. Just have to really demonstrate, okay, that's a fully constructed and where students cannot select, they have to come up with something. And vertically, we can see less complex, whereas items were the simplest form possible, true, false, that's the simplest form, okay? And then here we have the scholar who talk about this and research about that. You can see all this inside that, Haladina, okay? That's if you he's from the medical field, and he's writing a lot on item development or test development, okay, from the simplest one all the way to more complex. So now here, if you want to have like, some kind of enhancement for your test or quiz or items, a lot of media distractors, or even you see that, the picture, I have a picture, you can even have audio. So, but all of it, you have to consider your students' internet connection, definitely. Okay, but if things are, ideally, you can do a lot of things with technology enhanced, but it has to suit the purpose. That's the what do you call it? I have to the condition there. It's fun. It's all like, what's the purpose? Back to the purpose. Okay, so we can see here the most complex here. All this way at the end, the 7D here. You can see when students are doing diagnosis or teaching. Okay, teaching, that's the most the more complex they call it, and the least constraint. Okay, so along the way we can see a lot of different types of items that fits into this. Okay, and this is just to suit where they belong, all the different item types or formats that we see, in ClassMarker or in different quiz maker, or even game-based like quizzes. Kahoot is normal. I think Kahoot is just using that quizzes. That I can tell that when we're using it. Okay, and this is Scales by herself doing this in Adobe Flash. She just want to I call it share this on a multimedia form, and this is when she used like Adobe Flash to recreate this before we have ClassMarker or other quiz maker platforms available. So she uses Adobe Flash to make how to actually come up with certain types of items based on where they belong and on the intermediate constraint. Okay, here, okay, and this is when I start. I don't think you have this question about Albert Einstein, but the idea is simple. The type is multiple response. Let me show my pointer. Okay, the type here is multiple response, means we have two best answers here. And this is on standard deviation, okay, standard deviation and z-score, I think. And A until H, and from this options, you select two best answers. So this is multiple response, and on that scale is intermediate constraint is the second part. Is when students have to select. When there's a activity or action, they start to select or identify. Okay, here you can see the partial points. If they try to test wise the platform by answering all, they tick all because the system will detect only two correct. So you can also decide on the partial points. So here when you start, you can have randomized answers. You can randomize it A and H. Dr. Azira might get different sequence, and then Dr. Pua may get differently. So you have this randomized thing. Even the questions are randomized, okay? Different people get the first question wrong. Not wrong, I mean different, different question for different, the sequence. Okay, yeah, I added this in 2020, and you can add feedback if you want. If this is more like formative, you just want them to really see how things are and see the way this is also reasoning. That's a reasoning part. Some people put reasoning in it so that it's getting more difficult. As you add more options, it's going to be more difficult because the guessing, the optimal chance is now the guessing is becoming less. The probability to guess is becoming less and less. If you have two options, of course, it's 50-50 chance, okay, to get it correct. And here, if I did some analysis a little bit at that time, I call it, this is a learning domain, this is C4 and then analysis on my table of specifications, so we call it JSU, JSI. The item quality here, I can see it is difficult and discriminating, okay. 2 points, but not many people can score it, can get 2. That's the analysis. And okay, next. Okay, this is the second one. You don't get this also, but you get similar something, like I asked you to label, right, a couple of the ABCD, the Marisa, and also the celebrity and the scholar. Okay, you label, and then you can this is a matching, and some people separate them into how many. This is 9, into 9 different items. If you have to do it on paper based, but now here we can put them together and you can assign whether it's like 9 points, or you want to give this half because you say that okay, 1 mark is too much, so you can assign okay 3 because 1 is half. They got it 1 right, you got half point. Okay, so here is from courses. The course is assessment in education, the one I'm teaching. The topic is basic item formats, and this is just to understand. They have to understand, just more like they know whether they know what type of item format it is. Okay, so the item quality is difficult because only 2.57. The score majority got 2.57 out of 9. Okay, because still they still need to understand that the different categorization, and of course less tendency to cheat. And here we start going to the reordering or rearrangement, and the scale is intermediate constraint. Okay. Okay, this one is similar, reordering too. Okay, but this one, if scale is this is my interpretation of intermediate constraint in 2001. But in 2006 here, Scales and Giffords call this is an open-ended, okay, open-ended or uncubed multiple choice. How can multiple choice has to become to be open-ended? So if if you have a correct platform and stuff, you can make it happen. Like you can even ask students to draw a line, which one is actually going up, which one is actually when she's speeding, So there's a platform, okay, but of course it's expensive, and but for this I can simply change it into matching again, so we can still use ClassMarker if you want to ask this differently, just to see whether they really know which point. I think this is science or something. Okay, this is from a real operational test. Okay, so you can see here, I just added this last night, this question in the question bank. Okay, and yeah, two different items. Previously in 2006, is considered, still like a lot of things going on, but now, they try to reduce that complexity. Okay, make it matching. We can do that, the same questions. Okay, this is part of my thesis, my dissertation, and those intermediate constraints also, we can also categorize them based on the examinee's interactions. What are the responses that we want examinee to undergo, to take, So here we have, and we name the formats. The formats keep changing, and we call it innovating. They keep on, what do you call it, evolving based on the interaction, what we want. Here, if we want examiners to select, answer two multiple choice or selected response items, and then to answer the second selected response items, they have to make sure that, they get it, the first one correct. So this one is like just two multiple choice questions, but the first one and the second question is actually to confirm their understanding on the first question. So to make sure that there's no guessing. Okay, and this is actually, they call it evidence-based selected response. They show evidence. Okay, and usually this is based on, we can also make like automated the procedure, the scoring. We can also decide if they make it like the first one is wrong and the second one they get it correct. So that's definitely a guessing, and you can change the scoring. Both got wrong, even though the second one they got it correct. Okay, so evidence of guessing. Okay, drag and drop. Okay, this is or we can have it select in order. You can select and drop hot text and stuff. Multiple answer, multiple correct responses. We saw that just now, Albert Einstein, and a couple on the one that you did on ClassMarker. Okay, create a tree. Okay, reordering. Okay, and when you insert or formula or something, this we call it equation and expression entry. A lot of names. Hotspot. There's a there's a place on the on the article or on the diagram, and click it and label it. Okay, this is select text when you have reading comprehension. You want to select, okay, matching, graphing, and more. We have more on Ziniski and Cirisi. Okay, and that's also on Padlet. You can see the article. Okay. So what is actually technology enhanced items? We saw how things innovate and improve as we go, as we with different era or throughout the time. So technology enhanced items, actually, we just want to make sure like that's an integration. We try our best because it's hard to really test hundreds of some thousands of students with performance based, okay, or alternative assessment. So we have this kind of initiative to actually integrate the objective item and the subjective item. So we'll see how things work together. So there's an integration here, okay? And it started from 1989. I was just born, okay? Then scale is, and then make it improvement, and then now the quiz maker out, outside, they commercialize it to make it more flexible and less constrained. Okay, so it is of course a computer delivered item, and students need to have interactions. It's not definitely not that authentic because it's all simulated or within the limitation of what computer can give. But at some point we can capture as much as we can, as many students as we can. So students have the interaction just now. Students have to select, students have to drag, students have to correct multiple answers. I mean, not correct, select multiple answers, multiple correct answers, and match. Okay, those are the interactions based on the behavior that students need to do with the computer. And of course, it allows the manipulation of information. We can randomly, we can shuffle, we can score, we can change the score, we can make sure there's a penalize a little bit on the guessing if they try to test wise the machine or the platform. So we can manipulate the information. So that's TE. And here, this is 2021, okay? Configuration. If we can see, like, usually what quiz makers or online testing platforms offer, the configuration of secure online exam. So we can see, like, there's a section-based exam. That's Google, even Google Form did that. We can have different sections and stuff. Option shuffling, mathematical, symbols. We can start adding stuff. Now the complexity is there, but still within a standardized area, environment. Secure browser. ClassMarker, that's one of their claims. It's professional, it's user-friendly and secure, because all of this, you can the password, you can check the settings, you can see who's taking it and everything. That's, and affordable. Of course, cost comes in. We have more secure platforms, but of course, with the price tag. And we can have subjective item, all this kind of, we can add the speech to text, during subjective exam. Students, who needs accommodation, they can just talk, and then the text will pop up easily, on the computer. There's a calculator on exam. We can use, limit the cheating, instead of they use their own calculator if they are using it on site. Or even at home, they can have, there's a calculator, capture photo, video and stuff, okay? And this is all the way. This is, and they keep on expanding all the configurations. Okay, but at least, for now, what we can is, oh yeah, here, I want to show you the examples. If UM use Moodle, and we have also embedded quiz, quiz online, okay? And what it has to offer, still the constraints is based on the constraints, based on what students can do, what calculated, simple, okay? And all of this versus ClassMarker. These are all ClassMarker can provide right now. But actually this one also can be transformed, can be simplified, because drag and drop into text can make it, we can still make it in multiple choice, or simple, but it's a good multiple choice, not simply like a mere memorization of facts. Okay, you've seen some of the questions, so I hope. Okay, so, and the only thing, if you think ClassMarker is kind of heavy, usually the one that being embedded in LMS is heavier because it's an add-ons. Okay, and yeah, I think computer science people know better about that, or IT people. Okay. Okay, when you also do this, do an online quiz or even use computer-based, the important considerations here is you would like to make sure that, these two, construct underrepresentation and construct irrelevant component. Okay, it means here, we make sure that what we want to test for the construct underrepresentation is being tested. Okay, it's not like, we plan to have 4, but we are actually but one part of the construct is missing, because we are so worried about the formats or the platforms that we're going to use. So make sure that, what we want to cover is there. So we don't want the construct underrepresentation. And also the second one is the construct irrelevant. This is what's normally happen with computer-based tests. Okay, we don't want something that we are not interested to measure. Okay, we call it nuisance factor or irrelevant factor. Okay, for example, the test or response format. Okay, we so hung up on that item formats that they're actually being an irrelevant factor, but because of that format, students are not that familiar yet. So they got jeopardized, their scores being lower, they got lower score because of that. And linguistic complexity, of course. This is when you can term it in simpler or even translation. if it's not necessarily to be, asked in English, maybe you can consider. And in ClassMarker, good news is you have multiple languages and the translation pretty accurate too. Okay, you can assign it in different languages. Malay, that's one option for Malay. Okay, when you set on the settings, you can see how you want to translate it or to give it. participants if there's a participant who needs Malay translation, and other languages, of course, Arabic, Germany, French. Okay, so German, sorry. Okay, so these are we don't want to have this possible. We just want them to go away, but most of the time it's not. It's quite hard. Okay. Okay, here, this is from the Handbook of Test Development, the second edition. This is what are the validity issues when we do computer-based testing. We see here, okay, we talk about construct underrepresentation. Here, the issues are construct representation, okay? Because we'll try to make sure that, the benefits, of course, is better than problem-based, paper-based, PBT is paper-based test, okay? So they said more authentic, okay? Real problem or real experience, the one that they will feel with computer, with all the potentials. But sometimes, when we have too many authenticity or constructs that we want to represent, it's hard to be scored. Just now somebody asked on YouTube, right? How can score those essay and stuff. Yeah, that part still we have, but it has to be trained, like using semantic analysis and stuff. Okay, construct irrelevant. Of course, we may provide more authentic assessment. Like again, that's the claim, because you experience with the computer and stuff, more authentic, but not necessarily authentic. But the threats, again, the irrelevant, the formats may be unfamiliar. Some students might not be familiar because they are worried about how to hold the mouse and drag rather than focusing on the content, or how to scroll the matching part, the picture. Is it moving? How is it going from left to right, or is it going from up and down? Those are the important part. Anxiety, of course, we can, it's a good thing we can reduce distraction. We can have like time limits, for some people, for some students who needs accommodation, extra time, but not all. Sometimes we try to give all, because we try to give everybody at the same time. It's hard to control cheating, but we give to those who really need. Okay, but also again, anxiety with familiarity with computers. Okay, sometimes we have adaptive tests, but that's another thing, that you answer limited answers, but your score is better than your friends who answer more questions than you than you're doing. Okay, that's adaptivity. Okay, engagement, of course, measure response time, see how much they engage and stuff. That's good. Okay, but not with not without criticism. Anxiety, of course, again, not familiar, navigational thing, how different items function and stuff. Okay, this is the stereotype, that threat. Some people say, okay, SES, those with low SES background might have that kind of, less, what do you call it, advantage, get the lead, get, we call it, they're not able to perform well in computer-based tests. That's a stereotype with the SES. Or sometimes, with computer proficiency, it comes up, male is better with computer. That's normal. That's the stereotype that we have, gender stereotype. Or even Asians. Asians better to ace in the States. Always Asian scores better most of the time. So yeah, that's the stereotype that we have, that can also, influence our quality. I hear more automated scoring, speededness, even speededness. We make sure we speed test, but with speed tests, we have a lot of, there's a validity issue with that. If you have them speeded, we are checking them like how many correct answers, okay? Not necessarily their true ability on certain construct or trait that you want to measure. Okay, security. You can put random item presentation, random ordering, response options, which we saw earlier, the configuration and stuff. Of course, you know, you cannot steal or lose test booklets. Of course, you can hack. But when some online platform try to give it, you know, to make it secure, they try as much as they can. Okay. Here, digital files cannot be stolen. It can be stolen without sufficient protocols. Imposters may take. That's why we have like task proctoring with the face recognition and stuff to make sure we are actually the right person is doing it. But here, you know, a lot of things going on, and we can even have somebody stalking, and especially with interview. Consequences: greater computer resources put into schools. So we have to consider that. So are we ready? Are Malaysians ready? And the Malaysian universities, you know, resources, internet, normal problem. Okay, faster score reporting leads to improved instruction. Okay, teachers don't worry about scoring that much because scoring computer is doing it. Okay, so we can improve instruction. Response time feedback, decrease adverse impact. That's what we hope, you know, when we are actually having computer, you know. But there's always, you know, smarty pants with come up with a teaching strategies, cheating strategies, cheating strategies. Okay, more, they know how to trick the computer. That's why I said test wise the computer, you know. That's so increased testing costs, of course, with more security and stuff. So most of the time we're not ready. And on Padlet, I also share my conversation with Pearson VUE when I first got back to Malaysia to see how we can incorporate. And a lot of needs analysis need to be considered. And I share on Padlet, the one that our communication. And he gave us a lot of things that we need to consider so that to see our readiness with computer-based. Okay. Quality control can quickly fix errors found on the test. That's good. With well, before I assign also, I can change the time and stuff, you know, right? Still, there's a distraction, but it's faster and least least annoying compared to making announcement, you know, with the paper-based. Okay. These are some of the strategies, you know, what they call it for performance-based, because we said that that's a categorization, right, with computerized, but more on computerized items, because computerized also we call it performance or computer performance exercise or items that may facilitate test security. And this one, this handbook is the first edition, and we have full version of it on Padlet. I share it with participants today. It's $100, I think, that we got it for free now, 700 pages, 700 plus pages. So yeah, I put it on Padlet too. And this is the first edition. You have all this strategy, how to improve it. Of course, you have short answer, let them apply, more demonstration and stuff. Okay, but that's always a threat if with that writing requirement, extraneous elements, you know, sometimes we try to add a lot of authenticity, a lot of you know, context, but it may influence scoring. Different students deal with different contexts. Okay, copying, piracy, of course, that's normal. People will memorize even. Have you seen Bad Genius? Okay, the Thai movie, yeah, they copy and it's normal. Computer-based items here, again, this is what they suggest. Have a drag and drop, simple completion, complex problem solving to reduce cheating, of course. But the presentation mode, how students can drag and drop here and there, you know, it's how long they have to hold to the mouse. That's going to increase test anxiety. Okay, memorization, copying. Okay, so of course this is normal. And for multiple choice items, you know, we have the content concerns. Must use novel material. If you ask, you know, something that can be Google easily, of course, I've seen it in real, you know, paper-based tests. When we transfer it into computer-based tests, it's, you know, is there exactly the same answer. Sometimes from the Wikipedia, exactly from Wikipedia. So novel material, you know, higher level concepts. We've been talking about that. All academicians and scholars have been taking about HOTS, you know, paraphrase textbook, you know, paraphrase, don't simply take something on the slides, on our PowerPoint slides or our even textbook, okay, to avoid testing for simple recall, just straight memorization, okay. Not too specific, not too general, okay. That also can cause cheating, okay. of course, now they can share with on Check, on what you call Course Hero. That's another issue. But within the limited time, we try our best to limit. Okay, and of course, writing the choices. How many effective choices as you can write, as much as you can. Not something that easily people, the ABCD. If you can add 10, a feasible one, not just any, any poor distractor you just input just to make it long. No. Okay, effective means students need to think harder, okay, to make sure they really select. Of course, there's still a selection, but a lot of things going on, beyond the selection. So if we can write effective distractors, we call it, or choices, yeah, it's good. Again, these are just to prevent memorization so that they cannot share on blogs or, make money based on this test. We have a lot of improvement with writing different forms, but that's a lot of cost too. You have to make sure, the equation is equated well, in the same difficulty from across the form, different test forms that we have. Okay. This is from senior management from WGU, Western Governors University. And in 2017, WGU, they proctored about 30,000 online tests, okay? Each month, not per year, okay? Throughout 2017, okay? So here she said that there's no such thing as a perfect testing method, including at testing locations. Now we are doing at home. If they come to the hall, or the testing center where they sit with the computers given or the lab, they're always a problem. Okay, all we can do is to make it more difficult to cheat while making testing as accessible as possible. Okay, so not too much of firewall that at the end they cannot access, or not too much of a media or distractors or graphics, that at the end they cannot access, or there's a lot of backfire. It's going to backfire, but we'll try to make it, there's always a trade-offs, we try our best, write as a novel item, use different testing configurations, but it's still accessible to most students, if not all. Here is in 2017, and this all in blues, these are all test proctors, the other one who's taking care of, here we call invigilator. They are actually monitoring, and these are our university students. This is for North Carolina public universities. They are doing online tests. Okay, and here, online exam proctoring catches cheaters, raises concerns. It's ongoing. And this one, 2017. Okay, here are some of the web-based items, banking tools. And if you click on this, I think I have put the hyperlink. You can go to the slide and click on this logos to go to the thing. Of course, here ClassMarker is being acknowledged as web-based item banking tools. Okay, the rest are Eclavia from India, Tavison from Germany, France. I have to double check, but this is for a higher ed. Of course, they say it's free because it's open access, but of course, a couple of considerations that we have to, just like Moodle is also free. Okay, Zoomorphics. This is when you can do 3D and like more immersive learning. Okay, but of course, internet, and it's expensive. Okay, you can, if you think it's necessary, you can, because certification licensure it might works. Okay, other for profit tests, of course, these are all 360. I heard good stuff about it, but again, it's still expensive. It's more like, it's better for institution rather than individual scholar or lecturer to buy. ProProfs is not that bad. Still, paid is better, but it's still better. And I'm trying to compare ProProfs and ClassMarker now, hopefully. And here also we can go here. You can click it, it will go top 20 online quiz makers. And one of them is ClassMarker. Okay, yeah, free and paid. Okay. Another, I think I want to show you We still have some, how are we doing? Okay, 11:30, I have 30 minutes. Okay, I'm not sure, I haven't checked. Anybody saying something on YouTube? Please, maybe, so call it committee, CDAE could help me if there's somebody asking. I'm not going back and forth to YouTube right now. Okay, here, this is from certification. This is for architecturing, like architecture program. And this is an example of computer-based tasks. And here we can call it technology enhanced. Okay, a Parks and Recreation Society has approached an architect to construct a picnic pavilion. Okay, this is example. These are all questions. Okay, I'm starting to read on the question. So they approach an architect to have a picnic pavilion with restaurant facility, volleyball courts, and riverfront property. They give all the criteria what they need, the client needs. Okay, the client requested the development to be environmentally responsive and cost effective. So here they say, okay, this is the area and there's a floodplain, consider that. Okay, click on the area of the site plan below where the architect should recommend. So they say, okay, we want this is the area, so suggest where should we have the pavilion. Okay, but it has all the characteristics, so it can be here or it can be here, but they keep on saying, okay, it has to be environmentally responsive. Okay, the correct response, okay, this is the sample. The correct response is this one. Means the architect or the test taker, the candidate, they need to, yeah, it's cool, right, Dr. Justin? They need to kind of like click to make sure, okay, this is the best place to have that pavilion. Okay, so the rationale here, it says the architect should recommend the southeastern region. Okay, why? Here, because this is the site planning and design handbook, I think architect's handbook. Okay, analysis to sustainability, development principles, they have all this. Okay, flat limiting and stuff. Okay, later some certification, in addition to computer-based tests of multiple choice question, or something like with a computer like this, they have interview afterwards to get more, to elicit more information, to the rationale why. Okay, so that's always a variation that you can do depending on how much resources that you have, and time, of course, resource. This is an A/E level item. Okay, requiring you to evaluate the existing site. This is the handbook. You can go to the handbook and see more examples, and I took this one. And here, A and E here means analyze and evaluate. Okay, over there, they are JSU or table of specification. If they categorize on only two. For us, most of the time we use at university, we use C1 until C5. Okay, here they categorize U/A. This is understand and apply. C2, C3, and this one A and E, C4, C5. So they said that question just now is actually analyze, evaluate. First, they have to evaluate the problem and decide. Okay, based on the criteria given. So there you go. So here requires integration of new information. What actually A and E entails. Just I think most of us are really adapt with the what does it mean to analyze, what does it mean to evaluate. Okay, this is another one. This is definitely beyond ClassMarker. Okay, what ClassMarker, because this is from ETS. ETS is a leading testing company in the States. So here is a human to computer automated conversation. Means they have avatar. Mandy and Carol, they are avatar. There's no Mandy here, but yeah. Oh yeah, Mandy down there. Mandy and Carol are computer avatars engaging with Jackson. Jackson is real. Kids, I think grade, I don't know what is grade 5. Okay. A student being assessed on whether he can identify flaws in Mandy's argument. So Mandy is giving the argument, and then Carol also gives some context, and this is all automated. And they have to explain in terms of writing. So Jackson has to type but reasoning based on this stimulus, stimuli. Here we have tables, we have juice, we have boxes and stuff, image, and here we have the dialogue box. and it's a conversation-based assessment. This is based on research language test. Okay, language test. And here another one. See, Mr. Turner and Pat are avatars interacting with TJAC to assess his understanding of elements in this math problem. Okay, this is kind of another one, sample of conversation, and they try use avatar. I think in Japan also use avatar when they want to for IELTS and not MUET, sorry, TOEFL. Okay, yeah, conversation based, computer based. And here Jackson and Zapata said, when they interact with scenario-based tasks and in-person interviews, we have a lot of information about their underlying mental models, okay, and understanding. So the power of sembang-sembang conversation, okay, conversation-based, okay. So with scenario and also in person, and more now. And if you go to the handbook, they talk about even actors versus avatars. You want to use the real actors or you want to use avatars? Avatars can limit that unnecessary thing. Sometimes, you know, with real actors, tendency, because human, right, tend to disregard, you know, off the track, you know. So it's normal. So they start researching whether you want to use real people or you want to use computer. And then, but some people don't like it. Like, I don't think Josh Koo like it. Josh Koo from the HIPS, the AACU, because they like computer is giving feedback, and feedback should be authentic or should be sincere, you know, with a human touch. So now that's a trade-off there. What you want to achieve. Okay, I think okay, I'm good with time. Okay, concluding remarks here. I think this is Prof. Karim. I'm not sure. Just now I saw he thumbs up, but then I think he has to leave. I think he always say this in his trainings: a fool with a tool is still a fool. Okay, we have a lot of stuff, but a lot of considerations. We have ClassMarker. We have all over a lot of things all over the the place. Oh, okay. Is that Prof. Karim? Okay, CDEUSM. Okay. So Bennett's multifaceted organization scheme. Okay. Thank you. Bennett's multifaceted. No, I'm not asking you to thumbs up. I mentioned that Prof. Karim thumbs up earlier, so I mentioned that. But yeah, thank you for the thumbs up and for the encouragement. Bennett's multifaceted organization scheme. This is from Bennett, and also Scalise and Gifford mentioned this. When they decide on the intermediate constraint, they look at this only, the formats only, from multiple choice and the presentation. That's why they came out with the, from the, what do you call it, fully constrained and fully constructed. And based on the complexities, they come up. But Bennett says a lot of things you have to consider, a couple of facets, aspects, domain and the validity. Here we have that. What do you want to achieve? What content domain? Here they use, of course, the K-12, but for our at the university, business ethics, strategic communication, law, and sometimes we want to assess something, even go back with the basic like science, you know, sometimes we tend to have language element. Okay, and of course some people say this is integrated element, like element merentas curriculum, right? We have some language there, we have mathematics there, we want to test, we want to make sure digital literacy there, but you know, but the main domain is science. So try to just focus on the main part, because a lot of things going on. But of course the authenticity, you can have multidimensional constructs, but you have to make sure it's explicit, you know, with your purpose. Okay, then this part is construct validity. Again, we don't want the construct under representation. We don't want the irrelevant, you know. So you want to make sure how is it useful, or it can be used, you know. We can use multiple choice and just simple, make it simple, but still measure what we want to measure. Okay, value implications. Is it, you know, how stakeholders, especially stakeholders, are they gonna, you know, are they gonna be useful for the society at large, okay, or for the test takers, especially social consequences back. You know, when we talk about who's going to use our test or scores, the scores that students get, of course, the society, the employer, the boss, okay, the validity facet. So then it's a consider, and a lot more coming in actually. This is just the main. And yeah, this is I think important notes also. Here, like and Clauser said, do not let item types or test mode drive the measurement. Okay, because first, what comes to my mind, your mind should be, your purpose, the prescribed purpose here. Here in Malaysia, we talk about PLO, LOC, CLO, okay? Now we have MKF 2.0. So we'll see, whether it fits, what response, what students need to do, the process actions, and how long do they have to take to answer or to complete the task or, answer the test. And here we have to design the instruments to capture what we need rather than limiting the information to what a particular type of item can do. A fool is a tool, is still a fool. Okay. Here, conceptual and specific knowledge can be measured well by objective items, of course, facts and stuff, but still a lot of people like multiple choice because with a lot of test takers. And that's when, we have that kind of a lot of considerations, especially in Malaysia. We have MKF now. That's how we suggest things are going, the suggested one, okay, because those are not prescribed. So we want to make sure, we get the conceptual knowledge. At least we can use multiple choice or objective items. Okay, we want to isolate facts. Okay, skills and process. That's an application in simulated work domains. We can use performance-based, and still we, the technology is advancing. They are trying to use as much as computer as possible because a lot of standardization can be made. Okay, too much nuance is hard. Nuisance factors is hard to control too, and it's hard. The interpretation of test scores is going to be difficult. So that's why a lot of considerations. But back to the purpose, what you want to assess, who's going to take it and who's going to use the scores. Okay. And yeah, what does better measurement mean? And this is again Bennett. He's a professor emeritus at ETS, and Ward. Right, this construction versus choice in cognitive measurement. Okay, and when they start talking about, now we try not to have to select response, multiple choice, this kind of like low level, high order, low order thinking skills. Okay, so but the policy, that's what policy perspective, the world wants it. The top 25 skills for the 21st century said that we want communication, we want critical thinking, so we want tasks that are authentic, verisimilitude. Okay, we want tasks that send the right messages to those concerned with education. Right, we have a lot of concerns, a lot. Okay, involving tasks that help directly and indirectly to ensure learners ongoing and increase success. Okay, this is for them to progress. That's why we have HIPs and stuff, and all the authentic tasks that we are promoting. And I think Prof. Karim also just launched his book. Congratulations, Prof. Karim. Okay, but the psychometric perspective says we need test scores that are more reliable. In order to have reliable scores, you have to write more items. To write more items, you need to score more. So you need to, when grading takes time, that's why they succumb back to the more standardized, the item format, the multiple choice, the objective one. Okay, more representative of cognitive skills underlying an achievement. We want that. If you want to ask the topic, at least we have 3, right? If we write survey, we have at least 3 items measuring the same construct. That's better. So write more items, more reliable, more representative. Okay, and we want scores that is not being contaminated. There's a lot of construct irrelevant factors there. So a lot of anxiety and all this kind of stuff. So back to the item formats that we saw earlier, like the objective. Okay, so that's the psychometrics perspective. That's what psychometrics are hoping to get from a test score, test takers, test scores. But policy wants different way. So that's a trade-off here. We have to balance. We have to back to the purpose, what we want, the aspiration of the nation. Okay, if that's the goal, let's move forward. But there should be a blend. And yeah, I think that's what we're doing right now, because what matters the most is our students. And these are all my students, you know, from physical classroom all the way yang tak pernah jumpa, never seen, on Padlet only, and all on WebEx. Yeah, they matters. Okay, they matter. So these are some useful resources and guidelines I can see here. I can share with you. We have, there you go. Okay, that's limited. We have a lot of guidelines. If you notice here, I have standards. This one being used in North America, and now it's being translated to Espanol, to Spanish. Okay, so means, you know, people are it's being used globally. And also we have from ITC, International Test Commission, here, this link, and they have guides too. It's more like European use, but still, you know, it's widely recognized. Okay, they have ITC guidelines, security of tests, examinations, all of this available on their website. You can go there and they have a lot of guidelines, quality control, scoring and stuff. Okay, to support this one, of course, you have to buy. Okay, and of course, another one is technology and testing. That's when they keep talking about game-based, not any game, serious game, or social media use of, you know, how to use social media to assess and stuff. A lot of things going on. So a lot of innovations going on. So back to the purpose, what you want to measure, how you're going to use the scores. Is it going to be for certification? You're going to decide who's going to be the surgeon, who's going to be the pilot, you know, flying you around. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. Happy testing. I thank you for your time. So,
thank you, Dr. Noriana. Okay. All right, thank you very much for the sharing. All right, so any questions from the participants? Any questions? Any burning questions that you would like to ask? No questions? In YouTube, Zana? No question?
yeah, I don't see any question. So everybody's
Alright.
wondering.
I think, yeah, that was very good. All right, I think, yes, like what Dr. Noliana mentioned just now, what matter the most is our students. So whatever we do, we must think of our students. What are the purpose they are here with us, you know, in the university. I think that is the most important thing. And yeah, we heard many issues about e-assessment, final exams, online final exams. Actually, we got many questions on how to avoid cheating. Okay, I've got that question on Wednesday when I did the webinar for MQA. So yeah, I would like to ask the same question to you, Dr. Noriana. Okay, how do you know how do we avoid plagiarism or cheating in online assessment especially?
Plagiarism, one thing, cheating, another thing. They ask somebody to help with their homework or with their task. So for just now, I shared some security configurations that like online testing platforms offer. But for us, the test developer, we are the instructor, right? We can, you know, back to the questions and the novelty, you know, how we want to phrase it, rather than simple list of 5 factors, for example, and that's easily to, you know, we can Google it, but we can put it more contextual you know, question, frame it in more contextual questions, add some kind of background and specific, but those backgrounds need to be, you know, related, not like something that, you know, they can, without the stimulus, we don't need, students don't need the stimulus to answer. So those are the considerations. If you notice, like I tried my best to share a couple of test questions that I think are good, you know, but in the form of multiple choice. some of the questions, even multiple choices is going to be difficult. But I have also experienced, students, I tried to limit the time and stuff to give time less media and stuff, but just asking the content online using ClassMarker. But I caught two students, starting at the same time, ending at the same, and the IP address is close, means we know, okay, and the marks is like miraculously the same. We tried our best to limit, but we did our part. That's for sure. We write novel items. We make sure we use all the configurations available. Okay, and of course we consider other validity issues. That's the best we can do. Tazida. Okay.
Yeah, I do agree with you because when we say about cheating, for example, during exams, during the face-to-face examination as well, we found students cheating. So but it becomes a very hot issues when we do the online exams, saying that um, the online exam is not reliable. Actually, it will be irreliable if we as educators actually prepare our questions. For example, the contextual questions, and then higher order thinking skills, because we found that sometimes we cannot accuse students of cheating because our question is not that high level. We ask them to list out, we ask them to describe, define, whereby
Yeah.
we need to actually give them much more contextual questions. Okay, then they can, if they can memorize that the answers, then we are to blame actually, because they are memorizing, they are not actually applying or evaluating or synthesizing the answers, right? Okay, I think there is no more questions. All right. Okay, so I would like to thank Dr. Noliana for her sharing this morning. I think it is very beneficial to everybody. And for the participants, the link for CPD is for your attendance is in the chat box. All right, please fill in your attendance, and as well as the feedback forms in HMS, in my CPD, so that you will be able to get your CPD points. And again, I would like to thank everybody for their participation in this webinar. Thank you very much for attending, and thank you very much again to Dr. Noliana and for being with us in USM, right, virtually today. So hope to see you soon or anytime later, inshallah. And thank you very
Inshallah.
much. All right, thank you very much, everybody. See you all next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning, everybody.